Well, hello there in YouTube land and welcome back to the channel. And today we are at Republic Harley Davidson and we're gonna test ride this ugly thing. It is a lowrider ST, so let's see how it is on a demo day. Well, there she is. Let's look at how that bike looks. I don't know. It just looks weird. I'm not sure I like it. I'm pretty sure I hate it. I love the engine though, the 117. It's a great engine. And I love these bullet holes on the exhaust. Remember from the 883. So I'm guessing it's the same designer. So it does have a mean look to it, a sporty look, but let's see how it rides, because I don't know, aesthetically I do not like this bike. I feel like I would benefit from not having that fairing. Without the fairing it'd be a good bike, but I don't know about the seat either. I don't know if I like it or not. But well, let's hop on it and see, let's take a ride and see how we feel. Okay. So it is a soft tail. So the first thing you're gonna notice is it's low to the ground. You can flat foot this bike no problem. And on this cockpit, you would feel like you would have something here, like a bigger clock or something, but no, it's nothing. Okay. Funny that it's a 117 and the engine doesn't give you a lot of sound. I was expecting a little bit more, but all these bikes as stock, they don't give you a lot of power. I mean a lot of noise. I didn't notice they have these little wind deflectors things. I don't know if they work or not, but that's something extra that it comes with. So this is the Harley Davidson Lowrider ST. So that means it's going to have the 117 engine, but this one has also this ugly ass Sons of Anarchy looking fairing. You also have the backs that are removable. I hope that the windscreen is also removable, because then that would mean that, yeah, if you want to use the windscreen on the winter, but you can remove it, and because I hate the way it looks. And I also don't love the riser things, the way they look. The grips obviously was something that you would have to change. Now in a bike like this, which is all blacked out, why not have black levers? That's just a thing. Now these are the old school mirrors from Harley, and they are pretty terrible. But I guess that you can put the new ones on this one. I guess, I hope. That would be something to consider. All right, so let's see how this bike rides and what's the whole fuss about, because everybody loves it. I don't like the way it looks, but if it rides as well as let's say the well, the regular lowrider, or the which I believe is that one, but that one's also blacked out and has the ST thing, so I had to do some research. Okay, so it does benefit from having, instead of floorboards, it has foot pegs, so that's good. Oh yes, now that 117, you feel it on this one. Now the brakes are gonna be yeah, you're gonna have to have a handful in order for you to stop this this bike. It's not a big heavy bike, but it is a cruiser, so it's not as nimble as the Sportster or another sport bike. This one is a cruiser type, Sons of Anarchy vibe bike. Okay, so yeah, you just have to get used to the way the foot pegs are set on this bike, so you can get oh, and I can find neutral no problem. So only one gas cap here, but it's all blacked out. I love the idea of having a whole blacked out bike. So maybe if we can just remove this ugly ass fairing, change the handlebars, remove the bags, or maybe you leave the bags for cruising, which I mean for commuting, that would not be a bad idea to have them. But then you can remove them if you just want to cruise around. But I don't know, would these handlebars make you handle the bike a little bit better? Because that's the whole point. Otherwise you wouldn't reach, or you couldn't put these ugly fairings in. So I don't know. Suspension looks nice, but let's see how it handles the bumps. So I love the way this bike accelerates. It has a whole bunch of torque, so you can go off the line real quick. And I'm pretty sure that if you're, but we'll see. Let's not make any assumptions. Let's actually see how it is to ride. So the first thing is, yeah, it is pretty nimble on the corners. So that's going to be a plus. All right, from a Fat Boy or a Breakout, because of the back big fat tires that you see on those bikes. This one doesn't have that. And I'm guessing the rake on this bike is different as well, because it does feel a little bit shorter and it does maneuver a lot better. Maybe it has to do with the ugly handlebars, I don't know, but yeah, it does feel a lot nimbler. And also the idea of having foot pegs instead of floorboards, you can control the bike with your feet a little bit better. And this bike being nimbler than all those other Softails, you can actually just move the bike with your legs, with your feet. I love the way it handles. So yeah, I don't know, because I'm all set on the Fat Boy, right? That's my dream bike when to have another Fat Boy. But why not have a Fat Boy looking bike that can handle like this? I don't know, it's it's one of those things. So the suspension on this bike also feels a lot better. I think you're sitting taller than on the Fat Boy and on the Breakout, because you do feel a little bit better than on those bikes. It feels, I mean, it's very plush, the suspension. I think I love it. And also it could be the seat. The seat is really comfortable, even though I didn't like the way it looks. It's very comfortable, and it also keeps you on the seat when you accelerate, as opposed to the Fat Boy that you accelerate and you have to hang on for dear life because there's nothing to hold you back. Now this seat, just like the Fat Bob, is comfortable enough, but you're stuck in this position. There's no way to move. You have to stay here. So let's get these bumps. Yeah, instead of yeah, I want to hit these bumps with this bike because it's so plush, so comfortable that you can actually hit them and no problem. But if you want to get rid of them, you want to get, yeah, you can just go like this. And I mean, you counter steer this bike, oh man, like a bicycle. I can't believe a Softail is this nimble. So I understand now the appeal. I understand why people are loving this bike. It's not just, I mean, because some people love the way it looks, right? Because you want to feel mean, like a Sons of Anarchy character. But it's more about how it makes you feel when you're riding it. And yeah, it's a great bike to ride. Oh man, Harley, these Softails, I have not ridden a Softail that I didn't like. The chassis, the new chassis on these bikes, these Softails, is great. And now the suspension is also great. And then the engine with the 117, it's also great. So there's very little not to like about these bikes. I already talked about why I don't like about the bike. It's the aesthetics, right? That's the way it looks. This ugly fairing, but that's something you can change, no problem. Or you can get the other ST or the other lowrider without the fairing if it has the same engine and the same suspension, right? The only thing I think that you would need to improve on it would be the brakes, but you're not going to win any races, so just leave them the way they are. Maybe just change the levers to all black, change the mirrors to something nicer. The good thing is Harley and the aftermarket is going to have a whole bunch of options. So one of the things I'm struggling with is finding the gear indicator. I have no idea on which gear I am at, and yeah, this bike would definitely benefit from having something else as a dash, because this little Casio 85 as a dashboard, which is the same as in the Breakout. Yeah, I understand we're doing old school bikes, guys, but this is 2023. What the hell is this? I can't, I mean, I have the fuel gauge here, and I guess this is the miles per hour and just a number. Yeah, it is the miles per hour, and then the same thing. These are the revs. That's the rev counter. Come on, man. And then you have these things here, but there's nothing. But they're just indicators from when you get in trouble, I guess. The blinkers and neutral. All you see is when you're getting neutral. So yeah, Harley, I would definitely find a Chinese company to make you the better dash, and don't tell me you're not buying any parts offshore, because you are. Especially if you're renting the new Sportster models, you know that they are. So why not just do that? I mean, we went to the CF Moto launch or demo. Ooh, the demo. A lot of people in the smell and some waffles. We went to the demo for the CF Moto, and they have these great dashes. They're a Chinese company, so come on, Harley, just do something like that on these. I mean, the Pan America has a great dash. Why can't we do something that looks old school, but it is new, premium, like other brands do? You don't have to stick with everything being old school. But I do love the way this bike accelerates. Although the first gear is a little short, so is second. Oh no, and then when you give it the beans, it starts opening up. You do hear the sound of that 117, and you have to be crazy not to be in love with that sound. The whole I don't know how these bikes sound, but they make a great sound, and I love it. And now I have an itch in my nose that I cannot, damn it. Okay, so that's itch gone. No, still there. So what else about this bike? We talked about the brakes, we talked about the suspension, the engine, the ergonomics, the mirrors, the way it looks, the way it handles. Yeah, there's nothing much more we can talk about this bike. But I just, well, we're gonna go on the freeway to see how it handles a little bit more speed than what we've been doing so far on this slow ass demo. And don't worry, because we will get on the freeway. It just takes a little bit, I don't know why they don't just put you on the freeway right away, give you just a turn, come back. You don't need a lot more than that on a demo. All this stop and go, it's not as exciting, and you're not going to learn a lot. All you need to do is the stop and go a couple of times, and that's it. Some people complain that, oh, they're not long enough. They're long enough. I just want So maybe I'm spoiled because I'm from, when I started doing demo days in Harley, that was in El Paso and in Barnett. That's all they do. They take you on freeway, they take you on long rides on the freeway, and they go fast as fuck. So yeah, that was a pretty different experience from what you can see here in Houston. And all these demo days they find, because I'm pretty sure maybe, well, you have some idiots that come to the demo days, they think it's a race. They do all these nonsense, and so that's why you have to keep it, well, like this. Very, 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 very strict. I don't know. I do love these bikes. I do love the way they accelerate, and on this one, you feel a little bit better. But yeah, the brakes are something that they're lacking, so you can get a little bit overexcited and get in trouble because of those brakes. So I don't know if I would buy the bike and change the brakes, or that would be a big deal breaker for me on a bike like this. Yeah, I would rather have the Fat Boy, even though it doesn't handle as well. The Fat Boy, you know, is not going to be as nimble, and you feel that you have to be more careful. With this bike, you feel like you're more in control and you can do a lot of nonsense, but you're not really, because you don't have the stopping power. So we're gonna hit the freeway now, and that's gonna be my last ride for today, because I have to go take my wife on I'm gonna take my wife Anna Maria on a date. We haven't had a date in forever, and I feel like we deserve it. And the other day I went with my friend Ben and had some crawfish, and she wants some crawfish. I like the crawfish. I never had it before, but it's just a lot of trouble for the amount of meat that you get, but it's fun. And so she wants to try it, and we'll do that today. But now we're almost at the point where we're going to see how this bike handles on the highway. So we have this highway here, US Highway 90. We're going to well, get on it and give it a little bit of beans, see how it handles. I already know how it's going to handle just by the way it's been handling so far. Let's see if we can get another shot of that beautiful Fat Boy. Yeah, that's a beautiful bike. That's the prettiest bike, the most beautiful bike in the world. So even though this one handles a little bit better, it does remind you a little bit of the Sport Glide, but it's not as nimble as the Sport Glide, I think. Oh, now we're gonna get in trouble. Nope. You see, it does handle. It does give, has some pep. But I'm afraid I can't really rev this bike a lot, because, well, they told us these bikes are brand new, they haven't had their first service, so we don't want to mess them up that much. Just a little. And we lost half of the group, but we do have other riders back there, so we're not going to worry about them. They'll be fine. Oh, I found the gear indicator. Is right here at the top. All right, so I'm in fifth. No, I was in the wrong gear, because that did not feel fast at all. I think I had to be in fourth, right here, just like on the Fat Boy, and just like on my Street Glide. There you go. Now, coming down from the Sportster, I don't think even with the 117 this bike feels as powerful. I mean, it does have a lot of low-end torque, But once you get up to 60, I don't know, I was expecting a little bit more, to be honest. It's not bad. I guess I'm just spoiled riding my Suzuki too much, but I was expecting a little bit more pep from this bike. I mean, I remember this is a 117. The Sport Glide had the 107 stock suspension, I mean stock exhaust and everything, and it felt a little bit quicker than this thing. Maybe it is because of the fairing, you don't feel the wind, which we didn't talk about, and that we should. Yeah, the fairing does a good job of protecting you from the wind, and you don't feel any buffeting, so that's good. But you do feel all the wind on your shoulders, so it's like half there. If it's gonna rain, it's gonna hit you on the shoulders, so that's not great. But anyway, I do like this bike. I just don't like the way it looks. And we're almost here at Republic, going back, return these bikes. And I mean, I've had a blast. I love these demo days. You get to ride all these beautiful bikes and enjoy them. And you can come down with your buddies if you want and talk about bikes. You can also talk about bikes with strangers, which is funny. It's one of those things that we do here in demo days. But that's it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for supporting the channel, and make sure that if you like the video, well, subscribe, give it a like, and send it to all your friends. If you don't like the video, well, make sure to send it to all your enemies. And I'll see you guys on the next one.